Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Rasan427. Next, today, once we were discussing is potentially the night one main event of WrestleMania 40, and this is actually The Rock and Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins and Cody Rhodes. And this is going to be a very, very interesting match, just simply because it's something I did not expect happening. Now, after the press conference, people went back and forth whether this a match that happened, whether this match now happened. A lot of people said Rock and Seth. I just didn't see that happening because I just don't see Seth Rollins beating The Rock, to be honest. I could definitely see Cody beating The Rock, but not Seth Rollins. And this brings up a lot of variables. I'm going to try to touch on every single variable that's going to basically can happen inside this match, all the outcomes that could happen inside this match. And it seems like it's going to take place on night one just because I doubt they have Roman and Cody fight night two back to back, but they actually going to do back to back nights. Now, this is going to be really interesting just to see this because Seth is hurt. So you're going to have him wrestle twice, potentially two 20 plus, maybe 30 plus minutes. I mean, I think he's going to do 20 plus minutes, but 20 plus minute matches in 2 nights is kind of interesting because he's already hurt. But that's just what they're actually going to be doing. But the thing about it is, after this announcement of the Grayson Waller effect and Seth and Cody actually being on there, I think it's pretty obvious. And I think Roman and Rock actually showing up at Elimination Chamber will definitely be something. And I think it's interesting that they haven't announced Roman. He's supposed to be like potentially the biggest star. And you know, the Elimination Chamber tickets, they've sold well, but they haven't sold it all the way out. And I think that's interesting because your two biggest stars, you never really, well, Cody, he was announced, he said he was going to be there, but you didn't give him a match. And then you're not even advertising Roman. So it's like, how do you expect to sell that many tickets if you're not actually advertising these two? So that's kind of interesting to me that they actually went that way about it. But with The Rock, I feel like this tag team match is going to happen because The Rock is ring ready. Well, he's trying to be ring ready. Who knows if he can actually wrestle a 20-minute match one-on-one. Because I think the match between him and Roman would have sucked. I feel like them expanding it another year, I still think it's going to be bad. That's just to me personally. That's just what I personally believe, that the match is going to be bad. But them expanding a year, I feel like I could change something. But, I mean, is this a good idea to do a tag match? I mean, it kind of doesn't matter because they're going ahead and do it. I just don't see The Rock backing out. And The Rock is going to get his match. And I feel like it's going to prolong that Roman and Rock match. Are some people mad? Yes. But with the tag team match, it's the first ever. Well, no, we actually got a tag team match as the main event last year. So, because they seem like they're trying to hype it up as like the first tag team match since WrestleMania 1. Because Triple H talked about it. And it's interesting that he talked about a tag team match main event in WrestleMania 1, but didn't talk about the tag team match main event in last year's WrestleMania. I just realized that a tag team match literally just main evented night one last year. So I know the stars are way bigger, but it's like it's not as big of a deal because they already did it last year. So it's like the 40th of that happening, but it's like you already did it. So that's just, I mean, that just is what it is. But with the outcomes to this, okay. So a lot of people think Seth is going to turn on Cody. I don't think that's going to happen. Just because I don't see Seth continuing after Mania. I think he's going to take some time off after Mania. That's just what I personally believe. I could be totally wrong. Because it's really no point in having him turn on him if he's just not going to show up on TV after Mania. He's injured. Like, that's just... I mean, they could still do that, but then it's kind of stupid, to be honest, just to me personally. Because, like, he has this big heel turn. Then it's like, oh, well, he's gone for 6 months. So it's like, what's the point? I know he's supposed to have surgery on his knee, his back. And I definitely know that he doesn't want to miss Mania. So for him to do Mania and that's it. Or Seth could drop the title before Mania. And then he goes in. Because there's literally there's no point. If he's doing this big tag team match, first of all, this tag team match is going to overshadow anything that Seth Rollins does, whatever on the card. So if he's faced LA Knight or Randy Orton, this tag team match is going to overshadow that. Nobody's going to be talking about that match. Unless the title change hands. Maybe they'll talk about it, which, I mean, the title was going to change hands. But even if, which I believe Seth is dropping the title at Mania, even if he drops the title at Mania, they're still going to be talking about this tag team match over whatever he does. So it's kind of like, what's even the point at a certain point? But I think this is interesting because it's like, who do you have lose? Because you can't have Seth lose. I mean, Seth is the most suspended one. We all know. And Seth is probably the one who's going to be taking a pinfall. Unless Rock turns on Roman. But then you're going to have Cody. I I don't know. I just had to wait it out to see the win go book the sexy match. But you could have Seth. But I'm going to talk about the reasons why you can't have him pin. You can't have Seth be pinned because he's going to have a world title match the next night. They're not going to have Seth work 2 matches in one night. Can't pin Roman. Not going to pin Rock. Can't pin Cody because he's going into the main event of WrestleMania. So it's like, at a certain point with this tag team match, who can you pin? You're not going to have an end in a no contest unless you just have Cody just beat The Rock. Because then you could technically say, oh, he didn't beat him 1-on-1. He beat him inside a tag team match. But then if you have Cody beat Roman, it's just like, okay, he beat him in a tag team match. Like, it's going to lose that lust of him beating him the second night. So it's kind of no way to get around. To be honest, I think that Seth and Rock kind of would alleviate some of the problems. But I feel like this tag team match, and maybe one of you could tell me in the comment section below, I feel like there's none of these guys can actually lose. And I understand, I mean, a guy could take a pinfall, but it's like they're going, literally the next night, they're going into huge matches, world championship matches. So it's like they look diminished. If Cody takes a pin, then you might say that adds some adversity. If Cody takes the pinfall the first night and then wins on the second night, I'm going to have an issue with it, but that's fine. But then Seth, he's going into a world title match, so you're going to have him lose back-to-back nights. Then Rock and Roman, I just don't see getting pinned. And Cody cannot pin Roman on that first night and then pin him again on the second night. That's no. It will not mean anything if he pins him on the first night and the second night. It will not be anything. Now, something else is coming out of this. Either Rock turn on Roman, which some people are saying that if Rock helps Cody win, then it'll diminish Cody's victory, even though Roman has never won clean inside any of his matches. So I understand what people are saying, but it's like Roman doesn't win clean, so it doesn't matter. Like, but I do feel like Cody should beat him clean, which you can have The Rock in the fair and turn on Roman when Cody still wins clean. Like, you can still do that. But I understand people concerned with that. And nothing is Rock screwing Cody. And then some people are saying that this power trip that Roman and Rock have should go past Mania and then Roman should win. Roman doesn't need the title to do the power trip. Now, I understand why you want him to have the title. That's the reason a lot of people thought that Rock was going to win the world title from Seth, which, I mean, he still could do. From that trailer, they're doing something with these 4, which is probably going to be a tag team match because you could still have The Rock wrestle. He can be a heel. You can still build up to that WrestleMania 41 match, which is going to be billed as the biggest WrestleMania match, the biggest match of all time and stuff like that. But I feel like this tag team match, they kind of pigeonhole themselves just because nobody can take a pinfall. I feel like that if these guys weren't working double duty, it wouldn't be as bad. But then it's like, you couldn't have gave us a tag team match over Roman and Cody again. You couldn't have done that. And let me say this, and I might make a whole nother video on this. Cody cannot lose to Roman back-to-back years. I gotta make a whole video on that. I'm not even gonna get into that. I'm making a whole separate video because there's a lot of people saying Cody, like, how can Cody? You already did this to Cody, and has he recovered from what The Rock did to him? Somewhat, but that's just from the fan support. But if you have him lose again, like, and then you talking about this MSG show, like, he lost on back-to-back years. He supposed to get another shot? Now, I know he won a Rumble and he earned his spot, but it's like, at a certain point, how can I still take him seriously? But tell me your thoughts in the comment section below on this tag team match. That's a whole nother video I can actually make. Comment section below. Like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.